waiting. All right, it is 7 p.m. and I would like to call this meeting to order. While this meeting is being held in person, we are also offering the option for the public to participate through Zoom if preferred. Instructions on how to participate virtually are included in the City Council calendar item listed on the front page of missionks.org. Please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Robin, please call the roll.
Vaughn. Here. Hayden-Samposi.
Here.
Loudon. Here. Ryder.
Here.
Schmidt.
Here.
Josie.
Here.
Carpenter Davis.
Here. All right, we have one combined public hearing on our agenda this evening. First, I will officially open the public hearings related to the vacation of a private sanitary sewer easement at 5935 Beverly and vacation of a common driveway easement at 6025 and 6045 Martway. We will hear first from our Deputy City Administrator, Brian Scott. Following Mr. Scott's presentation, we will invite Devin Coffey of Millhouse to make a presentation about her company's development project. After Ms. Coffey's presentation, if any members of the public would like to make a comment on the items listed for public hearing, that will be the time. Brian, take it away.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. We have before us tonight an application for the vacation of 2 easements. And both of these easements pertain to the pending Mission Beverly project that's located essentially between Dearborn and Beverly along Martway. So that is a picture of the project. There's going to be kind of 2 components to the project. There's going to be building A on the north side of Martway, and then it's about 4 stories tall, 160 units or so. And then building B on the south side of Martway, which is 3 stories tall and about 40 units. It's a little bit smaller. Go to the next slide, please. And so the entire development project is going to comprise what are now 5 separate parcels. So there's the 3 parcels on Martway, the south side of Martway, which are the old Mission office buildings. We affectionately called them the Pizza Hut buildings when they were still standing. And then there are, let's see, 5 properties on the north side of Martway. So one of which is Beverly Park, and then an office building, a couple of office buildings in the old motor bank. Next slide, please. So there's quite a bit of infrastructure in the area. There's a sanitary sewer line that goes down the middle of the block, the middle of the site. That will have to be relocated kind of to the north. The folks at Millhouse or Mission Beverly are currently working with Johnson County Wastewater to get that relocated. And then there's some electrical lines that have to be relocated. And then if you go to the next slide, please. This is kind of a diagram of additional infrastructure work that will have to be done. There's actually a storm sewer also that goes down the middle of the property or the middle of the site, and that'll be relocated to a Beverly, and then kind of reroute a little bit along Martway and then south to the creek. So a lot of work. This has taken a lot of coordination, a lot of time and effort, which has kind of slowed down the process a little bit. And that's a little bit of the reason why we asked Ms. Coffey to come this evening. Ms. Devin Coffey is a developer with Mission Beverly and kind of the one who's managing this project. And we thought it'd be a good opportunity for her just to kind of give you an update on the progress that's been made to date before we get into the actual easements. So Beverly, Devin, are you here? I'll hand it off to you.
Come on up.
Hello, it is nice to see you all again. I'm excited to be here on better terms than the last few times I was here. I feel like it was all doom and gloom. So at least we've got a little bit more optimistic undertone here. We are definitely moving towards closing. Our time frame is looking like the last 30 days or probably towards the end of December, like around December 20th to January 20th, in that range of when we'll be targeting closing. You need to get a contract set up for the park. So that's something. Okay. And then we'll break ground immediately after that. So construction will start right away. So we're very, very excited about that. Construction is expected to still take like 24, 26 months, somewhere around there. Kind of some recent milestones we've achieved. We had some issues with some of the sellers. You may recall that were upset about a lot of the problems with the water line. We are back into negotiating contract terms with them. So everybody's moving in the same direction, which is why I feel comfortable giving you that kind of closing window. The building permit, as I understand, is basically ready to be cut as soon as we get the paperwork executed that we're working on here tonight. So that's very exciting. We are still working on some civil storm permits and sanitary sewer permits. The Water One contract, the big $500,000 line that we were working on, that is done, ready to go. I have a check in my briefcase for $556,000 that we're hanging on to just to make sure we got everything check the boxes here tonight. And we'll probably be dropping that off here before Thanksgiving to get that ball rolling, get those materials ordered. What else can I tell you? Oh, I mean, we're just working on other utility stuff with like Evergy, AT&T, getting everything ready to go. I'm meeting with an environmentalist tomorrow to go through these last three buildings so that we can get our demolition permit submitted. A lot of paperwork we have to do for that because we're submitting a permit on property that we don't own yet. So we've got to get affidavits lined up from the sellers that say, I'm giving them permission to submit this permit, and then we have to promise them that we're not going to tear their building down once we get the permit, but we need the permit before we can close. So all those kinds of things. And as Brian was saying, we've got the JCW line, which is the green line that you see in the top of this image that coming down from the north that runs along to the east along our property line. We're dealing with those property owners up there. I've got 7 different agreements that we're working on to get that line upsized and relocated. And so just a ton of paperwork. Brian saw some of it, but there's actually a lot more even beyond what he's been involved in. So, and then, we're starting to kind of engage with the neighborhood, as we're working with those folks to the north. So Recor Property Company, Down Syndrome Innovations, the folks to the east there that own the Mission Hills Apartments. We're working with all of them on agreements. And then we're also setting up contact information for communication once construction does start so that we'll have a path for them to, they'll reach out to, I'll be copied on everything. I won't be running the day-to-day construction. I'll be overseeing it more from a high level, but we'll have a construction manager that will be issuing regular updates. We'll probably copy you guys on that stuff too if you want to be informed. But we'll be engaging with the neighborhood and making sure everybody's up to speed on what's going on. And if anyone has questions or concerns, they have an outlet to reach to make them known. So other than that, I'm here basically just to kindly ask for your approvals this evening so that we can keep moving forward and answer any questions you might have.
Great, thank you. We'll open it up for the public comment for the public hearing, then we'll have time for council comments and questions if we have any. So if any members of the public would like to comment, now would be the time on the items listed for the public hearing. If you are participating through Zoom, please either add your comment in the chat feature and it will be read out loud, or note that you would like to speak. We will call on you shortly to make your comment verbally. Please remember your comments or questions are visible to everyone in the meeting. If you're a part of our in-person group tonight, please raise your hand but stay seated, and we will call on you to come to the lectern to make comments. When you make your comment, please state your name and city of residence for the record. Be conscientious of others trying to speak and speak slowly and clearly. If I need to confirm something that may have been difficult to hear, I will ask for clarification. Public comments are limited to 3 minutes per person. Brian, was there anything you wanted to add before that? What? Oh, yes, sorry. Yeah, yes, the specifics on the easements, my bad.
A little minor detail, but that's okay. So, we are just on the cusp of getting everything wrapped up and ready to break ground on this project. And of course, there's always one last little catch there. And so, let me go to the next slide, please. The title company has discovered in doing all the review that there's 2 easements that they would like to have vacated, kind of cleared up before they give their insurance on the title of different properties. The first is what was a private sanitary sewer easement along the very northern edge of Beverly Park. This was actually recorded in 1962, and it was recorded and put in for the benefit of a parcel of property on the west side of Beverly Avenue. You can go to the next slide, please. And so that red line is kind of the sanitary sewer that ran across the north side of Beverly Park underneath Beverly, and then went to a building that I was told was a former J.C. Penney department store, but was actually the Water One offices for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And so go to the next slide, please. We eventually purchased that property and added the addition to the community center in the early 2000s. And when we did that, we installed a new sanitary sewer easement that just runs directly east to the green line, the new sanitary line that runs down the middle of Beverly. And so we abandoned the old one. And just as kind of a belt and suspenders approach, I did reach out to Johnson County Wastewater. They actually dye test the line and they didn't see any other hookups to it. So they're pretty convinced that's an abandoned line now, so it's okay to vacate. And then go to the next slide, please. The other easement is actually a common driveway easement. This is part of the Martway office buildings plat that was filed in 2015. And it runs between lots 1 and 2. If you can go to the next slide, please. So that's the easement on an aerial photograph. And there's essentially an access point off of Martway between the 2 office buildings that were there. And essentially without the easement, the office building to the far west would have been without an access point. So that was put on the plat just to provide a common access point so that one could get to the office building on the west side. So we noticed all the property owners within 200 feet of both properties. We put a notice in the legal record. As I said, I sent an official notice to Johnson County Wastewater. We have heard no objections, so nothing's been reported in the city clerk's office or myself. So
Okay,
that concludes
great.
my
Yes.
presentation.
Thank you. Sorry for jumping the gun again. So again, if we have any public comment on the items for our public hearings, we would now ask for comment. That is limited to 3 minutes per person. Justin, anyone online? No. Seeing no hands in the audience, and so therefore no public comment, I will close the public hearing. These items will be considered by the governing body later in our meeting. We do have one special presentation this evening, which is to proclaim Saturday, November 29th as Shop Small Saturday in Mission. I am proud to recognize the importance of supporting the small businesses that are the backbone of our Mission community as we enter the winter holiday season. I encourage all residents to remember that choosing to shop small does more than benefit our local shops. It strengthens our city as a whole. When you shop at a locally owned business, you are supporting local jobs, contributing to a stronger economy, and helping preserve the unique character that makes Mission such a special place to live, work, and visit. This year, we invite everyone to kick off the season by celebrating Shop Small Saturday on November 29th, which also marks the official start of our Downtown Mission window decorating contest. Now in its 3rd year, this friendly competition brings creativity, color, and holiday cheer to our downtown storefronts. I encourage residents and visitors alike to stroll through the district, enjoy the festive displays, and discover the incredible variety of goods and services that our businesses offer, from unique gifts to personalized experiences that you won't find anywhere else. But our support cannot end with the holidays. When we choose to shop local throughout the year, we create a ripple effect that supports our long-term growth, resilience, and the spirit of our community. Today, I'm honored to present this proclamation as a reminder that Mission's small businesses help shape the heart of our city. I urge residents to join me in celebrating, supporting, and uplifting them this holiday season and beyond. Next would be, on our agenda would be the issuance of notes and bonds, but we do not have any items related to the issuance of notes and bonds on our agenda, so we'll move into our consent agenda. Our consent agenda has 7 items tonight. Our council committees met on November 5th and fully discussed each of these items. The committees agree that the items listed on our consent agenda are routine enough to be considered under a single motion. If a council member or member of the public would like an item removed from the consent agenda, they may request that at this time. If not, I would entertain a motion to approve.
Mayor, I move the city council adopt the consent agenda as printed, items 4A through 4E.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
No, for the substitute, 4G would be the last consent.
Oh, 4G instead of 4E.
Motion's misprinted, yeah.
All right. So we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Robin, please call the roll.
Eden Shamposi. Aye. Spring.
Aye.
Ryder. Councilmember Ryder, can you give us your vote one more time, please?
Aye.
Thank you. Carpenter Davis.
Aye.
Schmidt.
Aye.
Loudon.
Aye.
Josie.
Aye.
Vaughn. Motion carries.
All right, we will move into our public comments. If any members of the public would like to make a comment on an item not included on our agenda, now would be the time. See any hands online? No hands from the audience. Okay, we will move into action items. We do not have any items coming forward from the Planning Commission tonight, so we'll move on to our committee reports. Councilmember Chosi, will you please provide a report from the Finance and Administration Committee?
Yeah, certainly. Yes, Mayor, I'd be happy to. The Finance and Administration Committee met on November 5th and considered 8 items. The meeting minutes, city issued credit cards council policy update, city council travel council policy update, 2026 contract for legislative advocacy services contract, and 2026 human service fund allocation were approved under the consent agenda. The funding agreement with Encore Land LLC for the Encore project, renewal of interlocal agreement with Johnson County for 2026 IT support services, and the Drug and Alcohol Council recommendation will be considered under the regular agenda tonight. For item 7A, the funding agreement with Encore Land LLC for the Encore project. The Sunflower Development Group has submitted a preliminary development plan for a revised Phase 2 project on Martway, east of the lanes, which has been named the Encore. In 2023 and 2024, the Planning Commission and Council approved a preliminary development plan and tax increment financing incentive package for a 96-unit mixed-use Phase 2 project. Since that time, the developer has revised their plans for the Phase 2 project. Before city staff or consultants spend time and resources reviewing the applications or engaging in negotiations with the developer, Mission historically requires a funding agreement. This agreement recognizes Encore Land LLC as the exclusive developer of the project and requires them to provide an initial escrow of $20,000 to cover the city's costs in reviewing the applications. The escrow must be replenished if costs exceed $20,000. Sunflower have indicated a desire to seek tax increment financing incentives similar to those granted for their Phase 1 project to the lanes at Mission Bowl. They intend to submit a TIF application as well as an IRB application for the sales tax exemption associated with the purchase of construction materials. The developer has communicated to staff that for Phase 2, they would plan to dedicate 20% of the units as attainable housing and would secure LEED Silver certification for the project. The funding agreement does not obligate the city to approve any incentives for the project. Rather, it is the first step in the evaluation process, ensuring that Mission residents do not bear any costs associated with consideration of the incentive request. Therefore, Mayor, the City Council approve the funding agreement with Encore Land LLC for review and consideration of a tax increment financing district for the Encore project.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Do we have any public comment on this item? Seeing none, any council comments and questions? Yeah, Wanda?
Sorry, I just have a question because so we're gonna, my confusion is because consideration, and I thought that we weren't considering that at this point. Is that incorrect? The TIF,
That's correct.
That's, yeah.
You're not gonna be
Yeah.
considering it,
we are not.
not at the moment. So all we're doing tonight is approving a funding agreement whereby the developer will give us a sum of $20,000 in escrow that we can use as we start to go through the process of negotiating a development agreement and
Okay,
analyzing the
I got that part, but
financing of it.
I guess then why is it included in the motion? Oh, oh, that's what it,
Yeah.
oh, okay, sorry.
Mhm. Yeah. All right, any other questions?
No question, but.
Yeah, your
comment.
comment? Yep.
The only comment I have is I think when we see requests for funds that come with a plan to dedicate units for attainable housing and then LEED Silver certification, like that's exactly the kind of commitment that would encourage me to want to allocate funds. So I'm happy to see that there in the plan.
All right, anything else? Seeing no more hands, Robin, please call the roll.
Loudon,
Aye.
Green,
Aye.
Schmidt.
Aye.
Carpenter Davis.
Aye.
Ryder,
Aye.
Eden Posey.
Aye.
Vaughn,
Aye.
Josie,
Aye.
motion carries.
Item 7B, renewal of interlocal agreement with Johnson County, 2026 IT support services. Since 2011, the city has maintained an agreement with Johnson County to provide information technology services, IT services, and support for the various city departments. The city originally partnered with Johnson County as part of ongoing efforts to reduce IT costs, streamline city services, and strengthen intergovernmental relationships. The partnership provides Mission with cost-competitive access to the county's specialized IT staff. IT services include work productivity application and data management support, network monitoring and security, help desk, and general IT project support. The 2025 agreement was for $103,274.69, and the proposed 2026 agreement costs are $107,740.41, which is a 4% increase. The cost is broken out between the police department, which has unique IT needs, and the rest of the city. The 2026 budget includes a total of $215,000 for computer services for city and police. This budget typically covers both technical support and software and hardware upgrades that may be necessary, as well as other computer-related services beyond what the county provides. So the total estimated costs are within established budget parameters. Therefore, Mayor, I move the City Council approve the interlocal agreement for IT services with Johnson County through December 31st, 2026, in an amount not to exceed $107,740.41.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Do we have any public comment on this item? Seeing none, any council comments or questions? Yep, Josepha?
Off the top of our head, do we know what the 4% increase was for? Is that just inflation reasons? Okay, thank you.
All right, seeing no other hands, Robin, please call the roll.
Ryder,
Aye.
Eden Posey.
Aye.
Schmidt.
Aye.
Vaughn, Josie,
Aye.
Loudon,
Yes.
Carpenter Davis.
Aye.
Green,
Aye.
motion carries.
Item 7C, Drug and Alcohol Council recommendation. By statute, the state of Kansas imposes a 10% liquor drink tax on the sale of any drink containing alcoholic liquor sold by clubs, caterers, or drinking establishments. Revenue derived from this tax is allocated 30% to the state and 70% to the city or county where the tax is collected. The statute further stipulates that for cities of Mission size, the portion allocated to the local jurisdiction be proportioned in thirds, with 1/3 to the general fund, 1/3 to a special parks and recreation fund, and 1/3 to a special alcohol tax fund. Alcohol tax funds allocated to the city of Mission are estimated to be $390,000 for 2026, a third of which, or $130,000, will be proportioned to the city's special alcohol tax fund. The 2026 budget allocated $70,000 to the Drug and Alcoholism Council for distribution to agencies designated through their Substance Use Continuum of Care Fund grant process. The Drug and Alcoholism Council is a program supported by the United Community Services of Johnson County and offers grants each year to various organizations within the county that provide alcohol and drug abuse prevention and treatment programs. Mayor, I move the City Council confirm allocation of the City of Mission's 2026 Special Alcohol Tax Fund to the programs and service providers as recommended by the Drug and Alcoholism Council.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Do we have any public comment on this item? Seeing none, any council comments or questions? Yes, Leah?
I just want to say that I'm not going to be voting on this since a percentage of these proceeds go to the agency Cornerstones of Care that I work for.
All right. Anything else? Seeing no hands, Robin, please call the roll.
Crane,
Aye.
Carpenter Davis.
Aye.
Hayden Chomposi.
Aye.
Schmidt,
Aye.
Josie,
Aye.
Vaughn,
Aye.
Ryder,
Aye.
motion carries.
And Mayor, that concludes my report.
Okay, great. Councilmember Carpenter Davis, will you please provide a report from the Community Development Committee?
Sure. Mayor, the Community Development Committee also met on November 5th and considered 6 items: the meeting minutes, right-of-way, maintenance agreement with Mission and Beverly LLC for the multifamily development project on 5935 Beverly, and right-of-way use agreement with Mission and Beverly LLC for the multifamily development project at 5935 Beverly were approved under the consent agenda earlier tonight. 3 items will be considered under the regular agenda this evening. 7D, vacation of a private sanitary sewer easement, 5935 Beverly. Millhouse LLC, parent company, has submitted a petition on behalf of Mission Beverly LLC, developer of record, to vacate a sanitary sewer easement associated with the multifamily development project proposed for the half block bounded by Beverly on the west, Dearborn on the east, and Martway on the south. The entire site comprises 8 separate parcels of property that the developer has under contract to purchase in November of this year, and working with the title company to ensure clear title for each parcel of the property, it has been discovered that there is a private sanitary sewer easement running along the north side, 5935 Beverly. This property is currently owned by the City of Mission and serves as Beverly Park. It appears that the private sanitary sewer line served the Powell Community Center when first built in the late 1990s, but then was later abandoned when the north addition was built in the early 2000s. Recent observations by the city's Public Works Department of a manhole at the end of the line indicate that there is no water flowing in the line. This has been confirmed by the crews from the Johnson County Consolidated Wastewater District. JCW. JCW has also performed a dye test of the line, which has further validated that the line is no longer in use. A formal vacation of the easement will ensure that we are following the process outlined in our municipal code and state statutes, and that everyone, including Johnson County Consolidated Wastewater District, has proper notice of the vacation. Mayor, I move that the City Council approve the ordinance vacating a certain private sanitary sewer easement recorded on October 10th, 1961, Book 122, page 236, for the benefit of the Terry Dale 24 Corporation, and more fully described in the ordinance itself.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any public comment on this item? Seeing none, any council comments or questions? Yeah, Ben?
I think we've spent a lot of words on these easements and on various facets of the development project at different levels. So I just want to sort of hone in on these 2 items. In that I think what we see here are some easements that are insular to some pieces of property and really don't have much effect on much of anyone's property rights and are just a hindrance to anyone using this property. So I don't see this as particularly offensive to this application or any application that might come forward.
Any other comments or questions? Seeing none, Robin, please call the roll.
Vaughn,
Here.
Schmidt.
Aye.
Ryder,
Aye.
Loudon,
Aye.
Crane,
Aye.
Carpenter Davis.
Aye.
Josie,
Aye.
Hayden Chomposi.
Aye.
Motion carries.
70, vacation of common driveway easement 6025 and 6045 Martway. Millhouse LLC has submitted a petition on behalf of Mission Beverly LLC, the developer of record, to vacate a common driveway easement associated with the multifamily development project proposed for the half block bounded by Beverly on the west, Dearborn on the east, and Martway on the south. The entire site comprises 8 separate parcels of property that Millhouse is under contract to purchase in November of this year. In working with the title company to ensure clear title for each parcel of the property, has been discovered that there is a 24-foot wide common driveway easement that runs down the property line of 625 and 645 Martway. The final plat of the Martway office buildings was recorded in February 13th, 2015, Book 201502, page 3651. The plat calls out a 24-foot wide common driveway easement that straddles the property line for 6025 and 6045 Martway, lots 2 and 1, respectively, as shown on the plat. Though there is no explanation as to the purpose of the common driveway easement in the staff report that was prepared when the plat was considered by Planning Commission, it can be reasoned that the driveway easement ensures access to both lots if they were ever to be sold individually. Mayor, I move that the City Council approve the ordinance vacating a certain 24-foot wide common driveway easement along the property line of Lot 2 and Lot 1 of the final plat of the Martway Office Buildings, Deed Book 201502, page 3651, and more fully described in the ordinance itself.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any public comment on this item? Seeing none, any council comments or questions? Seeing none, Robin, please call the roll.
Green,
Aye.
Loudon,
Aye.
Schmidt,
Aye.
Carpenter Davis,
Aye.
Ryder,
Aye.
Josie,
Aye.
Hayden Chomposi,
Aye.
Vaughn,
Aye.
motion carries.
7F is the execution of interlocal agreement with KDOT for US 69 bridge repairs. The existing US 69 Metcalf Avenue Bridge over Johnson Drive needs to be replaced due to age, deterioration, and vertical clearance, which does not meet KDOT's current standards. The bridge replacement would provide an opportunity to increase safety along US Highway 69. KDOT completed a conceptual study in 2023 and 2024 to replace the bridge. However, the final budget estimates exceeded the funding available in the Priority Bridge Replacement Program. And so it was determined that, in the interim, KDOT would make the necessary life, health, safety repairs in 2026. Improvements on the Mission side will include bridge deck and concrete column repairs, a mill and overlay of the asphalt adjacent to the bridge, extension of the northbound auxiliary lane between 58th Street and 56th Street, and a replacement of existing streetlights along the corridor which the city currently maintains and will continue to maintain. The cities of Mission and Overland Park have been coordinating closely with KDOT on this project to align schedules with Mission's Johnson Drive reconstruction project. KDOT anticipates letting the project in January 2026 and requires participating cities to execute agreements for the work being completed by KDOT. Mission expects to incur no costs in connection with the repairs to the bridge. Mayor, I move the City Council approve an interlocal agreement between the City of Mission, the City of Overland Park, and the Kansas Department of Transportation, KDOT, for improvements to the US 69 Metcalf Avenue Bridge over Johnson Drive.
Motion and a second. Do we have any public comment on this item? Seeing none, any council comment or discussion? Yes, Debbie?
Question, do we know what the current rating is of that bridge?
I do not have that information. I can ask the engineers that we are working with KDOT to see if I can get that information.
Okay,
Yeah.
will the work projected to be done move the rating any based on what we're doing? Is it
Yeah.
realistic of a project or?
The
is it
bridge,
just-
the bridge repairs should extend the life of that bridge for 10 to 15 years, from my understanding.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah, Wanda?
I'm sorry, my question is that there will be a diversion of traffic during this process, or how is that going to work?
They will have a lane closure in each direction, so there should still be through traffic.
So it's sort of like what's now.
What's going on
Okay.
Johnson Drive right now, yes. And we're working closely with KDOT and with their public information officer to push out notification to our residents and surrounding communities especially the Overland Park side near the school, as the work gets closer.
Okay. Yes, Leah?
Just wanted to make sure that traffic underneath the bridge will continue to be uninhibited or?
Well, it's going to correspond with our Johnson Drive project, so there will be a lane drop in each direction too. So there will be some impacts to traffic coming to and from Mission.
But
yes, there'll still be through traffic,
Okay,
yes.
fantastic, because it's not easy to get to Shawnee Mission North High School
No.
in other ways. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, they will still be able to move through our city.
Thank you.
All right, any other council comments or questions? Thanks, Stephanie. Robin, please call the roll.
Loudon,
Aye.
Ryder,
Aye.
Vaughn,
Aye.
Carpenter Davis. Aye. Hayden Chomposi.
Aye.
Pring,
Aye.
Josie.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Mayor, that concludes my report.
All right, thank you. We do not have any unfinished business tonight. Therefore, we will move into our new business. We do have two items of new business. The first is for easement acquisition for that 2026 Johnson Drive Street Rehabilitation Project. Stephanie, do you have an update?
Just rolling right into Johnson Drive project. Yes, we're still negotiating with the property owners. And we did secure easements from tracks 9 and 10 for Starbucks. So we are requesting the acceptance and recording of the right-of-way and the temporary construction easements required for this project, including authorizing the city administrator to execute the documents on behalf and to issue payment to the owners.
Okay, great. Do we have any member of the public who would like to comment on this issue? Seeing none, we'll open the floor for council discussion. Any council comments or questions? Yeah, Debbie?
What is the current projected timeline of the current traffic issue on Johnson Drive west of Lamar? What's the current projected?
With the utility underground relocations, as long as they can keep going until weather prohibits them from working in our right of way. So we're hoping they should be done by the end of this year.
Okay, and then 2026, there's a budget item for some road work along Johnson Drive west of Lamar as well. Will that work in concert to what's being done now? They won't have to rip everything up again, will they?
Well, that's the reason why the utilities are doing their relocations now is it's ahead of our project that will tear up that street and reconstruct it.
Okay, one more thing,
Yeah.
somewhat outside the bounds of what we're discussing, but I was told that someone went through one of those holes with a car. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Is the
Someone,
person okay?
she was, yes, she was okay. And I'm not sure what happened after that, but yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I would now entertain a motion related to accept the easement acquisition for the 2026 Johnson Drive Street Rehabilitation Project as presented by Ms. Boyce.
Mayor, I move the city council authorize the acceptance and recording of right-of-way, permanent sidewalk easements, and temporary construction easements required for the 2026 Johnson Drive Street Reconstruction Project. This includes authorizing the city administrator to execute the easement documents on behalf of the city of Mission and to issue payment to property owners as applicable.
Second.
Motion is second. Any further council comments or questions? Yes, Leah?
I noticed that there are still a number of companies that that you haven't secured yet. And it looks like they're all like the bigger corporations. Yeah. And so that's the reason why, because it's hard to.
And we have been in communication with almost all of them. They're just going through their legal process and taking the advice from their legal counsel. And so some of them would like to go through the condemnation process, which has court-appointed appraisers that will do an appraisal separate from ours and to determine if the value is near or where ours came in, if it's less or if it's more. So some do not want to negotiate and they would like to go through the process. Others are dealing with more of the corporate level and waiting to get those documents signed and returned to us.
Fantastic. Thank you.
And, oh yeah, Wanda?
Yeah, does that mean that we have to wait on that or do we, I mean, how does that work? Can we proceed with the work or no?
We cannot because it's federally funded. It
Uh,
requires us to have all the easements in place and we have a form that we have to complete for this project that states that, and it will list every single tract and and assure KDOT they're administering the grant, that we have right-of-way clearance before we can even bid the project.
But-
so-
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Wanda.
So I guess I'm confused. So we have a project in KDOT, and the project we're talking about with the easements is the one that's currently being done down the middle of,
Johnson
Johnson
Drive. Yeah.
Drive.
So Johnson Drive from Metcalf to Lamar is the city's project. That's where you see the utility
Oh, yeah.
agencies working
Yeah.
on their relocations right now. The KDOT, so KDOT is administering that project. That's where the federal money is funneling through KDOT. So they will disperse our reimbursement payments. So we have to go by their guidelines and we have to go by federal guidelines. So because it's a federally funded project, in order to bid the project and start construction, we have to have all of these easements in place. And because we didn't have them to meet the deadline, we had to enter into condemnation, and that's what this process is.
And that's already begun in court, right, Stephanie? We've talked about that.
Yes, the
Yeah.
court-appointed appraisers, we had a hearing on October 20th. The approval of the court-appointed appraisers did not get filed with the courts until November 17th. So we have worked with KDOT to push our letting date up to February so that we have time to get all of our right-of-way in place and be able to submit our letter of clearance to them and then bid the project out. So there's some other stuff that we have to do in the background too, and that we're finalizing our plans and our specifications to bid the project.
So the right of way comes to the middle of Johnson Drive because that's where they're working.
Yeah, that's, the utility agencies are relocating their infrastructure.
Oh, so we don't have
Gas
to have,
lines,
oh, so they don't have to have.
communication conduits. That's all being done ahead of the project so that they don't
Ah.
have to rip up our brand new street.
I get it.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's two different things happening. Okay,
Yeah,
I got it.
the work that's being done right now is being done ahead of our bigger project so that for the length of the improvements that are being installed, we're hoping that we won't ever have to cut that street open again because all of their infrastructure will be new.
All right. Any further questions or comments? Seeing none, Robin, please call the roll.
Carpenter Davis.
Aye.
Loudon.
Aye.
Josie.
Aye.
Ryder.
Aye.
Schmidt.
Aye.
Hayden Chomposi.
Aye.
Pring.
Aye.
Bond.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right. Our second item of new business tonight is related to the 2026 employee benefit renewals. Justin, can you please provide a report about this item?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. So the city provides a comprehensive health and welfare benefit package to our employees. Each year, we work with our benefit broker Locked In to kind of review the options to ensure that we're offering the most robust kind of package possible to the employees. This year, I will say it was quite an involved process. That's why we're presenting this item before you at the end of November at your council meeting as new business. The biggest driver of the benefits package is the health insurance. And so this year, the city, based on the initial renewal we were offered, we actually advised Locked In to go to market to actually explore options. There was a lot of back and forth on that front, and we were going down paths with other vendors and looking into that. And ultimately, where we were able to land is a reasonable renewal with Blue Cross and Blue Shield, who is the city's current provider, with an increase of 4.9% for 2026. So that's over the current premiums. You could see in the write-up as well, it's kind of been all over the place recently. We've had a few years where there was 0 increases. We got a bad increase in 2022. Last year was 9.4%, and we had to kind of pull a bunch of levers. So overall, compared to some of the numbers we were presented, 4.9 was pretty good comparatively. And in your packet, you have this one, mine's not in color. It's this attachment. which gives a breakdown of the costs of the plan, but most notably, you can see the changes that are highlighted. So as you can see, outside of the premium increase, the actual plan changes are very minor. So a couple copays went down, a couple copays went up by a few dollars, but nothing, the actual structure of the plans, they didn't really change all that much. Additionally, beyond the health insurance, we do offer dental benefits as well. That's with Delta Dental. They did come back with a 6.5% increase. The flip side to that is it was with the 2-year rate lock guarantee. And I should note it is in your write-up though, the actual ramifications of that for the employee portion of that, it's a total of $5.35 for individuals and $15 for group coverage. So the percent doesn't sound good. The actual dollars, that one's okay. Some of the other plans we offer, the city provides vision insurance to its employees at no cost to the employees. That's on a rate lock right now, so no changes on that one. We do provide life insurance, optional life insurance that is at the cost of the employees that they can opt into. That's completely on their cost. We do offer flex spending accounts, so that option for employees that are signed up for that, which includes the dependent care if they want to take advantage of that. What else? The normal retirement offerings from KPERS are KP and F. The city's supplemental retirement plan for non-KP and F, non-sworn police officer employees is still in place. We are maintaining our employee assistance program with an entity called PASS, which is a switch we made last year and has been very successful so far. Continuing the wellness program we've run it the last few years. I think that's all of the items. So with that, I'd be happy to stand for any questions related to this one.
First, do we have any public comment on this item? Seeing none, council comments or questions? Yeah, Wanda?
I don't know what the wellness program is. Could you give me a short summary, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So what we do is it's an incentive, an optional for employees. And each year we kind of program it out and we require a certain number of points. And if the employees hit that full amount of points, the current incentive amount is $400. So it comes in at the end of the year. Well, towards the end of we actually just processed it. So in November, when we were doing annual evaluations as well, the wellness incentive is part of that. And so we have, trying to think of some of the things we did this year. We do like park cleanups. So we'll go out and do cleanup for the Penn's folks. We did a pickleball event this year, actually. We have certain, I'll call them like lunch and learns, where we'll have someone from KU or someone come and give a talk. I think one of them was stroke awareness. I can't think of what another one was. And then we'll do other challenges. We'll do like a water challenge in the middle of that. So you got to document like how much water you drink over a month. And there will be one if you do a certain number of physical fitness activities like workouts or classes or anything like that, that counts. And then what we did actually change with the program this year was we offered a partial wellness incentive. It was $200 just for anyone that actually did either the city's annual biometric screening. So we provide that on site at the community center for free for any employees. Or if you go get the same thing done by your physician, we gave a partial incentive. We saw a few folks utilize that incentive as well. So.
Any other questions? I would now entertain a motion related to 2026 employee benefit renewals as presented by Mr. Carroll.
Mayor, I move the city council authorize the mayor or her designee to execute any and all documents necessary to approve contracts for the City of Mission's 2026 Employee Health and Welfare Benefit Program.
Motion is second. Any further discussion or questions?
Justin.
Yep.
Good job.
Yes, I think much better outcome than we originally thought it might be. So very, very good work. Robin, seeing no further questions, please call the roll.
Finn,
Aye.
Green,
Aye.
Hayden Champosi. Aye. Josie,
Aye.
Ryder,
Aye.
Loudon,
Aye.
Vaughn,
Aye.
Carpenter Davis.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right. Next, we will move into comments from the city council. This is an opportunity for comments from our council members. Does anyone on council have something they'd like to share this month? Yeah, Wanda?
I just want to say I was part of the Mission veteran from Hy-Vee, and I mean, they provided a really nice breakfast. Not only, I just am impressed with how really kind they are. I mean, they had it set from, like, I don't remember what time, but it was supposed to close at 10, and people people came after 10 and they served them, and they even had little take home. If you wanted to take the food home, you could do that. I just cannot express how wonderful that was, and was wondering if the council could, or the mayor could do something to let them know how much that is appreciated, because they didn't even, I mean, they fed the family. If you brought a there were no questions, correct?
Right. Yeah, I got to serve eggs, bacon, and sausage. And we had over 1,000 people there. And you're right, there was no question about wives or husbands as part of these veterans' families coming and being fed too, because we honor their service. They're involved just as much as the person serving. And I think Hy-Vee did an outstanding job, and you're right, it went for a long time.
It did. I mean, and I just want to say that Cheryl got to serve food and I got to bus the tables. I don't think that's fair.
We'll switch, we'll switch next year, okay?
I doubt that's true, but okay.
Yeah.
No, I think that's a really good point. I think, yeah, giving Hy-Vee a shout out is definitely warranted. I also know that during the SNAP shutdown, they were offering like $3 dinner meals every day with free meals for kids. So I think it's really good to see, what a valuable member of our business community they are. And we're really, stepping up for veterans and folks in need this month.
They're just a valuable member of our community,
Yeah.
period. I mean, I don't know many businesses that do that kind of, and it's just not just the veteran thing. It's the attitude is what I'm trying to convey.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, Debbie?
In concert with that, another coup for Hy-Vee, my husband works the food pantry and they are expecting 300 cars coming through tomorrow. So they're working tonight and tomorrow. Hy-Vee gave them prices for turkeys lower than Harvesters.
Wow.
They have been there the whole time. Anytime they need boxes, places to store. I mean, Hy-Vee has stepped up above and beyond what anybody could ever ask for. So there's a culmination of things
Yeah.
that if you write anything, it ought to be based on,
Yeah.
several things. Yeah.
Yeah, no, thanks for bringing that to our attention, Wanda. That's great. No, we can get something out on that for sure. Any other council comments? Yeah, Brian, then Ben?
Yeah, so this last Sunday, I got to judge Rushton Elementary's PTA's chili cook-off, and it was a blast. So just wanted to encourage anybody who sees any events put on by that organization, like attend them. It was a really great group of people, and obviously the money goes to a good cause. So
By the way, he got to judge.
it did, yeah.
They sometimes, they rotate through folks, I think, on their judging panel. I sadly missed my year due to a family medical emergency, and I haven't been called back up. So I'm waiting for my turn.
Yeah, don't turn them down. Being invited. Yeah.
Popular gig,
Mhm.
popular gig. Ben?
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to plug this from the dais because I'm so excited about it. But Overland Park and Johnson County Transit have been working on a study for fast and frequent bus service on the Metcalf corridor, which has big implications if it's implemented for Mission, as the Mission Transit Center is one of the key stops on that proposal. They're looking at doing 15-minute bus frequency from Johnson County Community College to the streetcar, at the south end of the Kansas City streetcar line, which if you think about the state of transit in Kansas City and the metro area for the last, handful of decades, is pretty incredible to think, one transfer, 15-minute frequency from Johnson County Community College to the Berkeley Riverfront is a pretty exciting proposition. I think it's something important to support. I certainly support them and hope that implementation goes ahead and that we can be partners in that and in their continued visions and our continued visions for transit and transit-oriented development. They've sort of come out with this rapid fire kind of wins on transit over in Overland Park and at the county level recently with the airport service proposal and yeah, airport service has been something that people have wanted in Johnson County for a long time. And you've even, you see things as interesting and as optimistic as Councilmember Healy from Overland Park. He's posting on social media about when are we going to turn this bus service into a streetcar line? And I mean, and he literally talking about it going down Johnson Drive in Mission. So we have allies, we have visionaries, and I hope you all will join the hype train.
Yeah, and we are looking, I know Laura's out of town at the NLC conference, so I haven't heard the latest update from her, but we are looking to secure someone to come speak to that at our December meeting, because one of the stops in connection with that Metcalf fast transit plan is the Mission Transit Center. So yeah. And stay tuned on more World Cup transportation news. I think there'll be more than just the airport shuttle coming out. So stay tuned in.
Mhm.
A short-term. Do we have a short-term rental thing like Kansas City, Missouri is doing? We do?
Yeah, we have an existing short-term rental policy. Yep. Yeah, we can share that for sure. So I know it predates at least you, maybe Joseph, I can't remember on council. You were here. That's right. Yeah.
Let the record
Look at that.
reflect, yeah.
Debbie, did you have a comment too?
Just want to mention, if Penn doesn't mention it, but Thanks for Seniors Luncheon is tomorrow, and there are a lot of people. I don't know how many people are coming, but it's an awesome opportunity for people in the community and surrounding areas to come to a wonderful community center and be treated very well. It's a great option. This is my 20th year. I'm working.
240 signed up. All right. Good stuff. Any other council comments? I did just want to note, as I mentioned, our city administrator, Laura Smith, is out at the National League of Cities conference this year. I was unable to attend this year, so looking forward to getting her updates, and I know we'll share those out. There's always a lot of really good information on federal funding and new programs and things that we can take advantage of as a city. So very good, very good. Next, we have our council committee liaison reports. These reports allow the entire governing body to stay up to date with our various activities of our boards, commissions, and committees. First, Councilmember Hayden Chomposi for sustainability.
Hello, it's me. So we had a good group the last time we met. We met on November 3rd. We mostly went over the Go Green Environmental Fair. In general, there were a lot of wins. We really appreciated everyone pulling together for it. It was the largest one yet, we think. We didn't track it, but we think we had about 400 people in there, and so that's pretty good. The Plug in America project that came and hosted a bunch of EVs for everybody to drive was a wild success. We had 80 participants. 100% of the signups were taken, including people that had to be turned away. 2 cars were purchased. Good for us, Mission.
Oh.
And so we really did a great job at that. They really liked it being in partnership with the Oktoberfest. It made it feel like it was the whole city coming together around just kind of like a fun weekend thing. The things that did not go so well for them, they said, were actually around the Repair Cafe and the e-recycling. Repair Cafe, they feel like maybe the location was rough, and e-recycling was a week after we had done the countywide e-recycling. So we are pretty sure that's what happened there. And they do have some questions about whether or not they can stay at the community center in the future just because of parking as Millhouse gets underway. And so those are their big discussion items. They also are in the process of trying to rework the battery recycling program that we run over there. So if you have anyone that cares a whole lot about battery recycling and sorting, send them our way.
We need a new John Arnett. He's
That's just
retiring after a decade of great service. So
yeah, John is
know what he meant.
retiring, and he has been our battery wrangler for a very long time. And so for one, huge thank you to John. He's not here. I'm acting like he is. Camera John, thank you for doing this. And he's going to be greatly missed on the commission, but as you mentioned, 10 years is a good long time. So that is that report.
All right, thank you. Next, we have Councilmember Kring for Parks, Recreation, and Tree Commission.
We had a great meeting. We discussed the upcoming cutoff for entering information on your favorite tree. And we have several people who have submitted trees. Mary Reihart has the perfect tree in her yard. It's a maple on maple, and it's a gigantic tree. And I'm not saying anything, but I think I'm going to put it in. Anyway, we discussed that. We had a long discussion about trees in general, people buying trees and what that entails. We talked about, kind of did an overview and a summary of the spooky walk and how greatly attended it was. Wonderful turnout. It was kind of cold and people still came. They loved doing that, and it was a great opportunity. As I said earlier, we're going to have the Thanks for Seniors luncheon tomorrow, and that will be attended by many. And we certainly appreciate all the work Jenny Smith does at the community center. We would be lost without that young woman. I'm telling you, she's involved in everything.
You're here.
Coming up, we'll have the holiday lights and festive sights on Friday, December 5th. We have a Pearl Harbor commemoration and dedication on December 7th, and lots going on the Parks and Rec front. Penn is in charge, and I always feel comfortable when he's in charge. Thank you.
And I would note on the Pearl Harbor celebration, I know it's sometimes hard for council to get away because it's often during the work week, but this year it is on the weekend. So if you haven't had a chance to attend, it's a really powerful event, and I would encourage you to come if you can. All right, next we'll hear from council members Reihart and Chosi on Mission Magazine editorial board.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. We met on November 13th, not long ago. I would say for the public and for this body, not a ton of new material to cover. This is kind of a season of brainstorming and looking forward to our next publication year. The usual updates, we're on track for the final issue delivery in the middle of December. As I mentioned, I think last time we'll be looking at the variety and array of eateries in Mission, and so I think that'll be sort of always a favorite and always interesting to a variety of people. So look out for that. Still working through just changes with the publisher in terms of advertising and just editorial polish and things like this. We have new staff working on helping with stories and writing and photos and things. And that's really finding its momentum quite well. Next year, like I said, brainstorming is kind of the watchword for this group at the moment. So we will have a December meeting. Sometimes we don't have a need for one, but we'll be looking at, how can we look at the city's 75th anniversary throughout the publication year next year, and of course, what exactly we want to fill 4 issues with. So our next meeting will be Thursday, December 11th, and that concludes my report.
All right. And finally, we have Councilmember Carpenter Davis on the Family Adoption Committee.
Yeah, well, this Friday, we're going to be distributing our Thanksgiving food baskets, and we have a lot of volunteers to support our 71 families. If you haven't noticed, the angel trees are up in the City Hall here in Powell Center, so please stop by and pick up an item so you can provide that for some families. Our distribution for that will be on December 19th. I'm just pleased with this event. And again, Hy-Vee supports this as well, and they give a lot of food at discount for us to distribute to these families. So that's just phenomenal, but I really appreciate that. On another note, if I may, Mayor, the Climate Action held a reception for elected officials here on the November 12th, and Emily Randall, as many of you know, sponsored that with Mid-America Regional and Climate Action, and I just think it speaks to how much Mission has made an impact on climate action, so congrats.
All right. Next, we will move into our city administrator's report. So in Laura's absence, Justin, do you have anything to share with us tonight?
Just a few quick items before I turn it over to Ms. Folks for her business updates. So earlier tonight on your consent agenda, when you passed the policy updates, if you haven't signed this already, if you could sign the updated new P card holder agreement, and that the full handbook is in your packet, or I can send it to you separately if you want to take a look at that. The other item is the interim financial reports. They look good. The expenditures are tracking right where they should be. We are seeing a little uptick in sales tax, so that's good, hopefully for year end. And then the last item, I will turn it over to Chief to give a quick update on the ferocious cereal drive competition with CFD2.
We ended our cereal competition with the fire department on Monday, had the count on Tuesday, and ended up between the two organizations, we donated 392 boxes of cereal. Happy to report that the police department came out on top of those numbers again, but who's counting when the people in need get the result? So just wanted to share that with you.
All right, I have 3 business updates for you tonight. So the first one, fencing went up last Friday, and man, I don't know about you all, but my phone rang off the hook. What's happening at Applebee's? So we are excited to let you know that Chase Bank has taken over that location for a new branch, and they will begin some work at the site and then hopefully open in 2026. I don't have an exact date for you, but if you get that question from your constituents, like I've gotten them from residents, that is the answer. ER Floral Partners has moved in at 5915 Woodson, and then you may have noticed that our friends at Fluffy Fresh Donuts are not back, but a new partnership is back in the same location at 5729 Johnson Drive. They have changed the name to Holy Moly Donuts. They have a location in Topeka, so I think they're building on that. They were hoping to incorporate some of the Fluffy Fresh branding, so I haven't been in yet, but hopefully it's a good treat for you. And then I have non-business announcements. You may have seen that our snowplow naming contest is open right now. So it's open to anyone, residents, visitors, staff, elected officials, neighbors. So feel free to share it. We have about 65 entries right now. So we'll pick 5. We'll pick a top 10 list based on the mayor's favorites, and then we'll have voting for that for a week. And then the contest will close the same day we're supposed to get our first snow on December 1st. So we'll see how that goes. And then you may put a bug in the ear of any of your neighbors or friends. We are looking to fill a couple of spots on our boards and commissions in December. So we're looking for a sustainability commissioner from wards 1, 2, or 3. Any of those 3 can apply. And then we're looking for 2 parks, recreation, and tree commissioners, 1 from ward 2 and 1 from ward 3. So if you'll help us spread the word about that, we will happily pass on any applications we receive, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Questions for Robin? No, thank you. All right, we do not have the need for an executive session this evening. So before we adjourn, I just want to share with the public that the video from this meeting will be available through a link on our website at missionks.org. There being no further business tonight, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mayor, can I interject
Oh,
one
oh,
thing?
yeah.
I apologize. I should have said this earlier. I want to thank Stephanie, our Public Works Director. We had an issue with a couple neighbors with big chunks of concrete being placed in their yards from, they think, the gas company, and they didn't want to ruin their lawnmowers. Anyway, it was a great response back, and we're still waiting to hear something from the gas company. But it's very assuring that we have department heads and staff that get on it right away. And it's reassuring to the public at large when you can respond to something. I thank you.
Second that.
No, you're fine. So I would entertain a motion to adjourn. All those in favor say aye. We are adjourned. Thank you.